September 28th, for the Board for Licensing Contractors of the State of Tennessee. Carolyn, if you will, we'll do a roll call this time.
Speedy Jones.
Here.
Mort Rudd.
Here.
Andy Allen.
Here.
Ronnie Tickle.
Here.
Jennifer Ransom. Here. And Keith Whittington.
Here. At this time, we've got the agenda in front of you. If I could, I'd like to get a motion to adopt the agenda. Motion. Second. Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussions or additions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed likewise. Motion passes. Need approval of the July 27th, 2021 minutes. Can I get a motion? Second. Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. We've got RCE provider applicant. Oh, that's continuing education. It's
Yes.
Flynn's Quick Ed.
Yes.
Okay, and they're supposed to be participating by teleconference.
Yes. Let's see, Jeanette Potter, are you on the line? Jeanette Potter. There's some phone numbers that don't have names. They may have had, trouble connecting.
Okay, I'm assuming it's on the iPad.
Yes, it is, and I believe Kathy emailed it to you all, the application, and I do have it.
Is there any discussion by a board member about the application? How many will this make us have now?
6. This will be number 6.
And then the more the merrier.
Yes.
Wouldn't we agree?
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Motion. Second. Got a motion and a second to approve continuing education provider Flynn's Quick Ed. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Motion carries. We need to go through our license reviews now. We've got hardships. Jennifer, do you have any hardships or?
I do not. I believe these are, they have all been reviewed by a board member. And, they should be in your iPad, and I think Kathy also emailed this list to you all.
Yeah, no, I can't get it pulled up on the iPad.
I've reviewed them, I'll move for approval.
Second. Got a motion and a second to approve the hardships. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Okay, and then we've got license approvals.
I believe you
Got
can
the
do-
waived interviews. I've got a whole list here. Any discussion or motion on the waived applicants? And then I need a motion for approval of the waived applicants.
I'll move for approval of the waived applicants.
Second. Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Then the waived applicants are approved. Now, we've got revisions. Okay, I need a motion to approve increases, add classes, mode changes, and name changes.
So move to, accept revision.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Then we've got the LLEs and the LLPs. You got any you want to present?
So, sure, so, 62070 is waived at the yes, at the new application with the felony. 54090 is denied, needs to take the exam. 62103 is waived, it's another accepted, it's another felony. And so is, 62104 is also accepted. 37698, yes, this qualifying agent has been in the business and continues to be in the business, and also got a recommendation from an inspector, so I feel strongly to waive that one. 35283 needs to take the exam and it's been denied.
Okay. I didn't get any LLPs. Did we have any?
Yes, there were all.
Randy, did you have any LLPs? Yes, he does. Oh, you got it.
I got one. I'm sorry, that's a fact.
Two of them that Randy has approved.
They're in there. They're in the iPad. Yeah, they're in the list that I sent right in. These are the ones that Kathy emailed you on Friday as well.
Okay, they've been approved by Randy. So I'll entertain a motion if we accept the LLPs and the LLEs.
I make a motion to accept. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. And then the home improvement contractor list is there as well. And these have all been approved as well. And there's a bunch of them. I'll entertain a motion to accept the home improvement, application, application.
Let's see if there's one there.
No, that's the one with factors. That'll be in the application with factors. Any other discussion? See, I did have a motion and a second. So, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Now we'll start in with the applications with factors, and I suppose we'll start down there with Jennifer. Do you have some?
I do.
Okay, we'll start with you first then.
Okay. This particular applicant, Clinton Barger, he has several felonies from, 2003 to 2009. He's not on probation anymore for the felonies. But he does have some more recent charges, two domestic assault charges, one in 2019, one in 2015. Both of those occurred after his previous board-approved license. And then he has 4 charges for crimes committed since he was approved as well. A DUI, failure to obey law enforcement, driving with a single license, violation of probation. Kathy has spoken with him and believes that he is, he's provided all this information, he's disclosed everything. I guess I was just a little bit concerned about the more recent domestic violence charges in 2019, but he does have a pattern of behavior, criminal behavior, that spans back to 2003. right now, he is looking to, let's see. Kathy, this is not a reinstatement, this is just a. It's a new company. New company. So he's formed a new company, he was a qualifying agent on a previous company, but he's forming a new company now, and wants a $3 million limit. And I just wanted to kind of bring this up for discussion. He's a, residential commercial license. I was just concerned about his pattern of criminal behavior, including a recent domestic violence charge.
What's your recommendation?
I actually asked to see the charge report prior to the meeting, which we didn't get, just so we could have a little bit more detail about that domestic violence charge, because it's the second domestic violence charge, along with multiple other crimes. So I'm not sure. I wanted to bring it to the board's attention for discussion.
Do you think you need more information to approve it?
I think so. I would like to just see what the circumstances surrounding the domestic assault charges were. It could be something minor, or it could be something significant. Kathy, I believe the most recent domestic assault charge was dismissed. It was dismissed.
Which license number are we talking about?
License number is 61715. First license in November of 2008. But again, he has disclosed everything. It doesn't seem like he's trying to hide his extensive background. I guess I just wasn't comfortable approving it with. Any recommendations or discussion? Did you say he currently still has a license? He does. No, he was removed as qualifying agent in April. Oh, that's right, on the, previous license. Yes. But he does have his own licenses in retirement.
And you certainly can request additional information and bring it up for reconsideration at the next meeting.
That would be fine.
Okay, that's your motion. Do you have any others? Is that the only one you got?
That's it.
Okay. Ronnie?
Got one for Randy. 76913 Baldwin Construction. And Randy has, said that we should give this gentleman a $2,000 fine. Listed, still be on houses there. There's not 2 years between the building, almost 1 year between each
I can't hear
building.
you, sir.
Okay.
Speak up.
$2,000 fine for Baldwin Construction, 76913. It has to do with building houses. You can only supposed to build one a year, and this gentleman has built 2. so he has violated our code. And Randy is, said we ought to give him $2,000.
Okay? Benny, do you have any?
No, sir.
Mark?
I've got two.
76548, Roofing Control Services in North Carolina. They are applying for a license, admitted that they have bid a project in Shelby County. They did not perform any work, so I'm recommending a civil penalty of $500. Second, 76807, Clarkson Industrial Contractors. They're out of South Carolina. They have an owner over in South Carolina that wants to do a project in Tennessee. They admitted to helping him, budget-wise, and submitted a bid. They haven't started any work. I'm recommending a $300 civil penalty for that. Those are the two that I had.
Okay. Andy?
Yes, I have two. One is the Owen Company, which is the first one on our list, the 44273. And they're wanting to increase to 1.5. I recommend that we do this with a letter of warning stating they were an out-of-town company that did some work over their limit, but reading through it, they self-reported, it was genuinely unintentional. So I recommend going ahead and do the 1.5 with the letter of warning, telling them not to do that again, so that they understand. The second one I have is Crane Contractors LLC, and that's 60696. Similar situation, but this company's located in Tennessee and had a Tennessee license for some time. They wanted to increase to $2 million, but they've done several jobs over their limit. So I recommend a $2,000 fine for working over their limit on multiple jobs in Memphis, and then approving their increase.
I've got several, so I'll just start. My first one is, home improvement license, Sam Yes Construction. They, disclosed on their application several jobs that they were contracting without a license, and I propose a $500 per violation, since this is home improvement, for a total of $2,500. The next one I have is a home improvement contractor. It's Landscape Outfitters, and I have it's license number 10230. I denied it because there's no experience at all in anything. The next one is 10205. It's another home improvement contractor. The only thing they listed was tree and stump removal. And I don't know, does tree and stump removal fall under the home improvement?
Yes.
So we can give them a home improvement license, okay, then that one, I'm gonna change my ruling and approve. I did not know tree and stump removal was a home improvement. The next one is, license number 6621. It's, a reinstatement. They had a job over 3,000 while they were expired, and I propose a $250 civil penalty for that. The next one, another home improvement contractor, 10160, they were contracting without a license, and I propose a $500 civil penalty on that project that they listed. The next, let's see, Ultimate Finishes, are we ready for that one? This is an application for a BCA. It's come to us as a hardship. We have a hardship letter from an owner. We read the hardship letter, and they're requesting, they have a $1.1 million license limit now. They're requesting it to be increased to $3 million. The largest project they have is a remodel for $175,000. The rest of them are 125 or smaller, and they've not listed anything that would come near to their current license limit of $1,100,000. And I have denied the request to increase just based on the fact that there is no monetary experience listed that would even come close to that current limit, much less approving for a $3 million limit. No construction, it's all remodeled, so that was my decision. The next one is 5023.
Hello?
We have somebody that needs.
Oh, okay. We got somebody wanting to speak?
Hi, my name is Renee Bielski. I'm from Ultimate Finishes. I wasn't sure if we're allowed to speak right now or not.
Yes, go right ahead. Are you with Ultimate Finishes?
Yes.
Speak up as loudly as you can.
We did send in another experience form with higher amounts. I mean, of course, none of them are near that $1 million. On Friday, I sent that along with a letter speaking of our experience, and that was all sent to Rhonda on Friday. I'm not sure if you guys received it and read it.
I have not.
Okay.
Is the experience anywhere near $1 million?
Well, we've been in business for over 28 years in Illinois, and we've been in Tennessee for 9 years. We first got our license in Tennessee 3 years ago when we wanted to start doing remodeling jobs also here in Tennessee. We built our personal house here in Tennessee to use to show any potential clients. We started out as a painting company, and we started getting into remodelings, and then COVID hit. So it's not like, since we've had our license that we really have had the opportunity to do big remodeling jobs because, no one can afford lumber and construction costs nowadays. And now we have someone that wants to, hire us to build our house, to build their house, right next to our house. And we have the experience, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure what you guys are looking for or what, we have the experience, and we have people that want us to.
Board members review this case, and all 3 board members have come to the same resolution that the experience that you listed on your request does not warrant the increase. And all three board members reviewed this separately and without any consultation.
So how is one supposed to grow his business?
We
Right,
look for ground up construction. We look for the fact that you stuck a shovel in the ground and dug footings, that you know what you're doing when you start from the ground up, and we saw none. I do understand that you built your own house, but it's the policy of the board not to consider a personally built home in your experience.
okay. So there's no chance of getting any increase in the monetary limit?
Yeah, what we would like to see ideally for you to do is you could go out and you could build 2 or 3 spec homes, somewhere around $1 million or something like that. Get that put into your experience, especially before you start to build your next door neighbor's house that you may have to live with forever and wind up maybe not be the best of friends to be next door neighbors. That would be a concern of the boards, that we give you that opportunity and without the experience and you not be able to fulfill that promise.
Okay, but we do have the experience in we did do additions, we did build houses, and I mean, just 'cause we didn't when we moved.
We didn't see any of that listed on your application.
That was all sent in on Friday. I mean, we have built vouch.
Well, we have to get this stuff in. We like to ideally see these paperwork come in 30 days before the board meeting, and it's hard for the board to get something in 2 days before and be able to add it to your file. Even if you have it, then board members have to travel to these meetings, and when this was reviewed, that part was not in this file. So at the best I could offer you is to look at that information that you've sent when it becomes available and possibly reconsider it.
Okay. I mean, is there any questions that we can answer for you? I mean, we have, builders back in Illinois that will vouch for us, builders here in Tennessee. We have the, Discovery Land Company that owns True, who wants us to build for them. I mean, all of these people have seen our work, have seen our personal house, have, even when our house is being constructed, and know what we do. And we have perfect reviews. There's not one complaint in 28 years of doing business. Our net worth is way over what should be over the $3 million limit. I mean, we have perfect credit scores. We're not late on anything, no criminal behavior. I mean, our reputation is everything to us. And if this person that wants us to build our house next door is comfortable with us building it, I'm not sure why, we would not be given a chance of at least building one house, and you guys could, and if there's complaints, then something could happen. But if they're willing to risk it, and they trust what we have done, and
I really don't care what a potential customer is willing to risk. I have been shown the additional work that you sent, and even at that, the largest project's not 1/4 of your license limit. So I'm going to stick with my initial opinion, and that is not to approve the increase. You guys really need to go out and do some work that will get towards your license limit, and then you can increase it at some other point. Hello?
I mean, you guys do, they're stopping us from growing.
I mean, it's very hard to purchase land here in Williamson County. I mean, it's unaffordable to put up a spec home.
I can't help you with that problem myself. that's something that you'll have to consider as you continue to stay in business. It's the board's responsibility to weigh the potential with your experience, and it doesn't warrant a $3 million license.
Okay, but does it warrant any increase?
No, you haven't even come close to what your limit is now. You have a $1,100,000 limit. That's a very substantial limit.
And, I mean, so how does this work? So the entire board has to agree, or, I mean, just so that I understand the process.
I didn't hear.
Yes, the entire board has will agree.
The entire board will vote on it. The entire board is sitting here now listening to this.
Okay. I just.
We've already had 3 board members review it before we got here today, and all 3 board members came to the same conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Randy Chase. Keith, can you hear me?
Yes,
we
I
can,
can.
Randy.
Yeah, so I don't think, I just want to make sure you understand something. We're not questioning your ability or your reputation or anything. I promise you that. The problem is, you know, and what we're really doing, we're ultimately, you know, we're protecting the consumer, but you're only doing $200,000 projects and you're wanting to jump to $3 million homes and potentially multiple $3 million homes. And that's just not how things work in our state. You've got to, you know, you got to show us that you can do a $750,000, $800,000, $900,000 job, or 2 or 3 or 4. Then we would consider increasing your limit. We see this all the time, and it's just not. I mean, you've got to understand that there are rules in place to make sure that everyone is doing projects that fit their ability level and their in the history of the work that they've performed. It's just a process that I think, you know, in any sort of business, this is kind of what you would want to do. We understand you're wanting to build the bigger homes, but in order to get to that point and for us to increase your limit, like Keith's saying, you need to do 3 or 4 $900,000 to $1 million jobs. Then you come back to the board and we would reconsider it. But it's difficult to approve building a $3 million home when all your history is $150,000. Does that not make sense?
No, and I totally understand it. I mean, I totally understand. I've been listening, you know, to people from North Carolina and South Carolina that want to come into Tennessee because Tennessee's the hot spot and wanting to build. But we have also been in the business for 28 years. We have lived here almost 10 years. You know, when we moved here, we did not know a soul. We have built our company, you know, strictly on reputation. I mean, literally, if you Google us, there's not one complaint in 28 years. I mean, we build, you know, we do everything to the book, and to how we would want to be treated. And our customers love us. And they, you know, and some of these projects, like we were told that we could only put, like someone might hire us to do one part of us something and then hire us to do more, but we were told that that would be considered 2 projects and that we couldn't lump them together in this experience report, which I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what we were told. So that's how we filled it out to be that way, to be in compliance with what you guys talk about, even though the projects are continuously being done at a person's house.
We have repeat customers.
I mean, we have repeat customers. I mean, can we at least get some increase? I mean, we have obviously enough net worth to substantiate an increase. We have the experience, just maybe not here in Tennessee. And again, we just got this license 3 years ago, and then COVID hit almost 2 years ago. I mean, people didn't want people in their houses. People were worried about the economy. People were worried about construction costs. I mean, and now we're being penalized because,
No,
not
you're not
everyone
being
in
penalized.
construction.
First and foremost, please, this is not a penalty. Okay? This is just a denial of a increase request. You still have a $1,100,000 license limit that you can build up to that limit. You have not built in any shape, or form near that limit, and that's the decision of the board. It's not a penalty.
I know. I meant we're being penalized as in not being able to go forward in building new construction. I mean, you can't even build a house in Nolensville anymore for $1.1 million. I mean, houses in Nolensville are going for
And build it
1.3.
somewhere else in the state. You may have to drive to a county adjacent to you or something. Fact of the matter is I'm going to present this to the board and have presented it to the board for denial. You can come back at some point in time when you have an increase, when you've done more work and request that increase.
Let me make a suggestion, ma'am. You've made a statement that you've done remodeling and you just did part of it. Let's pretend a kitchen cost $100,000 and your bathroom is $75,000. That would have made $175,000. That would have looked a whole lot better on your report. That means instead of the $150,000 that you showed, it's more. If you combined all the work you did in the remodel and use that as your factor, it would help. But you don't have anything to come close to meeting your already $1 million that you need.
Right, because we were told that we couldn't do that we couldn't combine a kitchen with the bathroom when we were reporting on this sheet. I asked that question, and we were told that we couldn't do that.
Even if you combined them, would it come anywhere near $1 million?
No, because I mean, we're not ripping off.
That's the entire.
I think at this point, if we're just throwing a decision on this application, probably.
Wouldn't it move forward? Okay. Thank you for your time, though, ma'am, and keep working, get that experience up.
Okay, I just have one more question. Can I just make one more comment? I mean, if we just came in with this experience from Illinois, would we have gotten it? Just because we haven't done it in Tennessee. I mean, we have the remodeling.
It would have been fine if you had listed it, but you did not list it in this application.
Because we were told it had to be within the last 3 years.
Well.
So, I mean, we were told that it had to be within the last 3 years. We were told that we couldn't combine
that's
stuff.
True. That's very true. If it's been more than 10 years ago, then, did you do it in the company name you're working at now?
Yes.
Send it to us, and we'll look at it.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next complaint, or the next application is license number 51023. It's Gardens Construction. They've got an open complaint on file. I've read through the complaint. It appears as though the builder never did really start a house, and to make a long story short, in the end, they purchased the lots back from the homeowner and paid them for their expenses incurred as well. And the potential homeowner filed a complaint on them anyway. So they are seeking a monetary increase. I'm going to approve the increase, but I want a letter of warning sent to the contractor that, kind of makes sure that they don't, I need to back up just a minute. They did sign a contract for a amount over their license. I forgot about that part of it. I got through the last part of it, and they did violate the law. So we probably do need to issue a $500 civil penalty for offering to engage in contracting without the proper amount. And then a letter of warning as well, stating as such. Okay? The next one is license number 7656. It's Leaf Filter North of Tennessee. They're having a change of officers. It just says they have an open complaint. It's a very large company, and I imagine if you did as much work as they would, you're going to have a complaint. I approve the change. The next one is license number 76845. It's Centers Development. It's a new application, and on their application, they listed about 5 projects where they were contracting without a license. I propose a $1,000 penalty per offense for each offense, and that's a total of $5,000. And then the last one I have is find the license number 64390. It's High Tech Electric. They are seeking to add BCA to their CE license. On the application, they listed projects that they claim to be a construction manager, over $10,000 for the projects, and I proposed a penalty of $1,500 for these projects. I understand we've got someone here that wants to speak to this.
Yes, sir. My name is Nika Patel. I'm an attorney from Knoxville. Daniel Hudson was actually, just a little background, he did the electrical contracting he's an electrical contractor, did the electrical contracting for a law firm I just renovated, and that's how we came in contact. But I bring that up because when he started discussing the application, I think a lot of his was a misunderstanding when he was filling this application out. He does have letters of recommendation that were sent in from everybody that he listed. I think he misunderstood the gist of what the board was asking him when he was applying to add this addition on there. These are jobs where there were existing contracts, the contractors that were retained. He was the electrical contractor on all of these jobs. That was his position on each and every one of them. He does do construction work on his own property, things of that nature, but as far as being, it was more of an overseeing, learning from, and picking up this, from other contractors, subcontractors. It's kind
So
of
he, in fact, what you're saying then is, he in fact had listed experience that he didn't do.
I think that was the misunderstanding, and that was what I was explaining when I was going back and forth with providing information. It was a misunderstanding as to what the board was requesting of him. It was experience that he has in this field of, like where he acquired the knowledge. He's applying for that license for that reason. He cannot do contracting work because he's not a contractor yet. He's an electrical contractor. He has that experience and a lot
Well,
of it.
the experience sheet, do you have the copy of that?
I do. I'm looking at it right now.
It's pretty well spelled out to where it's not very confusing, and he has written down investment property, remodel, drywall, demo, remove additional, demo and remove, additional room, frame, new bath.
And that was his actual property himself, so when he submitted that, he was requested to change that because he can't use experience
Then,
that was on his own
then
property.
item number 4 is remodel, frame in a garage and for a new, cabinets, windows and doors installed.
Those are all of his own properties.
Okay,
Yeah. The first time when he submitted it, then he supplemented a second time, there was an accident, I think there was a mistake on which one he selected and was asked to change that, so, that was changed the second time. But again, each of these times, the experience he has doing it alone or himself would be his own property. That was the very first, list of experience that he submitted. The second was work where he was the electrical contractor on those jobs. And that may have been why the first time he had put on that he was the contractor, he was the electrical contractor. However, there were other things going on, and that's where he would acquire extra knowledge, he would help out, kind of just take a look at what people, you know, that were working were doing, because these were very big projects that were going on.
just because you watched something being done doesn't mean that you're entitled to attach the name contractor to yourself.
So, no, he was the electrical contractor on those jobs.
Understand.
The other stuff was just other additional experience.
Who's the qualifying agent?
The gentleman's name is Manuel Hudson.
Yeah, but who's the qualifying agent for himself? This name sounds familiar. Do we know of a High-Tech Electric?
This was reviewed at a prior board meeting last year,
Yeah.
this application.
This exact application?
And I've supplemented with additional letters and made some changes with the requests that were made.
Still looks to me like you submitted all personal experience. Is that what you see it?
No, it's something else. There's something else to this. Is he the qualifying agent for the CE?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Very familiar. Yeah, he's out of Knoxville. And his wife, does she work for him?
No, sir, he's not married.
Okay. There might be another High-Tech Electric. Yeah, can we postpone this? And let me review this a little bit more? There's something more to it.
Yeah.
The original.
Then we'll hold off on this civil penalty at this point in time.
And as far as, so the application that was made, has that already been denied?
We're holding it right now.
Okay.
He's applying for PC.
Yeah, he's got a CE currently, and he is applying for a BCA. But in that application, it listed several projects, as I've seen it, where he listed himself as a construction manager. Then we have another page of experience that I assume was submitted later that states all personal residence, personal investment. One goes back 2008, then we've got 2017, 2019, personal residence, and then personal investment in 2015. We'll hold on this for a while. Thank you.
When is do we need to appear for the next board meeting?
I think so. I believe the board needs to revisit all the facts in this.
And if you don't mind me asking, as far as that work experience goes, and this is just future reference as well, what exactly is the board looking for? I mean, I'm a little confused because I feel like we were asked to provide experience. I worked with him and, you know, really tried to detail what he did. Was this a violation? Was he supposed to? Was he not supposed to? But he is a licensed contractor when it comes to, you're probably using the wrong terminology, but he's an electrical contractor. And he's able to do that work. He wouldn't have any experience in the other areas because that's what he's applying for at this moment, other than what he kind of, picks up here and there working with other
You know, I
subcontractors.
10, 12, 15 years working with my father before I took the exam.
Sure.
And that's what it takes, is a personal investment and experience of ground up construction that you show, because what we're giving you is a license to build from the ground up.
Right.
And
So-
we need that experience.
We're looking for an apprenticeship-based training.
Yeah, so
How did he learn how to put windows and doors in?
and that's, I think it's explained a little more in the letters what he did. And that's what I asked each individual person that he worked under to list, like, what exactly was tasks that he did. He just didn't get paid for it because he was already there doing electrical work. He knew this was in the works, that he wanted to get his contractor's license, and he needed experience, so there were things he needed to learn.
But to what I'm reading, he never worked for another contractor. He never worked under a contractor to gain apprenticeship experience. Is that
Sure,
correct?
not like a full-time job where he was working under a contractor. No, he did not do that. He did on the jobs that he was already working as an electrical contractor, take on additional, like, under their supervision. But it was, again, not a paid for, it's not like you're on payroll and you're getting paid to do the work. So I understand, what the board's saying, but they've itemized what he did while they're under their supervision, what he would help with, work with them on.
It sounds like he was on the job, and when a man needed somebody to hold the window, he held the window. If somebody needed something, he was there and he helped. He was a helper. Is that?
Or he observed it.
Well, assisting, some of the letters talk about where he would assist other, subcontractors and whatnot, and,
I don't see any of that in this application here.
there's, letters that were attached. There's a number of them, I think like 5 letters that were submitted, and they were from each of the, jobs listed.
I don't see any of it in this file.
They were submitted about a month ago. I can tell you the exact date, they were emailed.
Yeah, we'll bring it up next meeting. We need to get that.
Yes, well, September the 2nd.
September the 2nd.
Yeah, that's when I submitted all of the letters.
I don't have it in this file. Did we ever get it?
Ben,
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth,
we, sent an email on September 10th, the attached images. My concern though about the letters is just taking, for instance, there's one in here from KHD Properties, that is apparently the owner of the hotel and had hired Mr. Hudson as a subcontractor, but this letter isn't from the contractor that Mr. Hudson has supposedly worked under, it's from the owner of the property. So it's not really detailing the work that he provided with the contractor, it's just from the property owner, saying that he did a good job. So,
We don't know what job he did.
the property owner, KHB Properties, said that he did an excellent job as an electrical contractor, which of course he is a licensed electrical
That's fine.
contractor. And the letter goes on to further state that he had, KHB Properties had hired additional subcontractors to do drywall, and, carpentry and framing, et cetera. But this letter is not from that subcontractor, this is from the property owner. So the property owner can say he did a great job, but we don't have a letter from the licensed contractor that Mr. Hudson would have worked under.
We really don't need a fabricated story. We need the truth.
oh, absolutely.
We need truthful experience. And we need ground up experience.
Sure.
Just because he can install a window or replace a floor joist doesn't tell a single board member that he is capable of building a house from the ground up.
Absolutely. There are other letters that I'd asked the board to review. I've read them, they seem like great reviews on them. I'm also not you know, I didn't know what the board was looking for. I'd asked the board to at least review it to, I think there was like 5, if I remember correctly, that were submitted. And it's
Well, to
it still
submit
comes
them,
to the same decision.
everything usually needs to be in about 60 days before the board meets, and to submit them and for them to go through the different channels and processes to get down to
Absolutely.
a board member, it takes some time.
And Ms. Patel said, there was another letter, I think, another one that you're referring to from, Adam Brannon, and in that one, the actual exact statement was that he would be helpful and would watch so that he could learn how to do certain remodeling jobs. And to Mr. Tickle's, example, watching and helping is not the same as really the experience of working underneath a licensed contractor.
Thank you. Okay, we've gone through all the applications with factors and their resolutions. I'll entertain a motion to accept the resolutions on the applications with factors.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. Now we're down to the legal report.
What about these two right here?
Wait a minute.
We need one more to be reviewed.
Hang on just a minute before we go on. Ronnie's got 2 over here. Is that one?
Yeah, this is home.
This one you don't have to worry about.
Okay, don't worry about that.
Wait a minute.
Hold this.
Okay, hold on. Carolyn, you had something?
Yeah, I believe, 77020, Barney, do you have that one?
Yes.
MDT, that's the one we need to look at.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We need to hold this one, because it sounds like these people right here were involved in some plumbing issues. I'm a plumbing contractor, and then he joined with MDT, and so I just said, hold until the complaints are settled and we know what's going on. Jesse,
And I think we should ask this individual to come to the next board meeting as well. They are in Middle Tennessee, so it should not be an inconvenience for them, but, when we were investigating, there was a complaint called in against one of their subcontractors. When we investigated that case involving the subcontractor, it became clear that this, individual applying for the license, was involved in civil matters. One of them in particular, they're being sued for not, following their builder's warranty that they gave to a home. So it appears that they may be involved in unlicensed contracting. There may be some other issues with them in general. So I think, based on that other complaint against their subcontractor, the recommendation of that one on the legal report, don't want to get too far ahead, but that recommendation on the legal report is to close that case with the subcontractor, open against this applicant. We can fully investigate and see what unlicensed contracting they're doing. And then I think that this application, we push it to the next meeting, ask them to come as well, so that way they can explain any other questions. Then you get a full picture, see if 1, they're engaged in a deceptive act, 2, if they're engaged in any unlicensed contract.
and when we do that, y'all would kind of list what we're dealing with. Like I said, this is kind of balled up when I was reading.
It is strange too when you look at, what they sent us, because there's some cases where he's involved personally, the QA is involved personally, being sued for, not paying subcontractors for work. Then there's some of his company, which is listed as a construction company, is also being sued. So I think that we need to figure out what exactly he's doing. I know he's stated he's a developer. So there's a lot of activity that we need to get to the bottom of first.
It's about 3 different sections that he's involved in this.
Right.
Thank you, Jesse. I've got a home improvement. It's 10219. It's in Knox County. Is where this occurs. A house was built, finished, and then this gentleman came and poured concrete. He didn't have a license to pour the concrete. Knox County, you gotta have a license. You can do anything $3,000 to $25,000. He didn't have a license for that. And his GC, I guess, didn't take him as a per se services, he's trying to do the right thing, so he says, look, give me a home improvement contract, and I'll go my merry way. And so I'd like to give him his contractor's, home improvement license, but fine him $200 for not following the rules and regulations in Knox County, so to speak. If that makes sense. Contractor without a license. That's it.
Did we miss any others that,
We've got two others, I think, that may have been missed. It's 10144 on your list, and I think that was yours, Keith, and 10220. Elite Construction and Roofing and, Feared Up Home Improvement. I think you've got a recommendation already on there. It does say, $1,000 civil penalty for total of 2 projects they listed on their home improvement application.
I don't have them here.
Excuse me, this is, I may not be able to speak. Now, but, and I may have missed it, but, I'm Eric Johnson with Jetton Property Group out of Portland, Tennessee. And I'd gotten a letter, I submitted a, submittal to add a classification to our license. And I've been listening, but I'm on a job site and I don't know if I missed it or, if it wasn't going to be reviewed. I got a letter saying that it was going to be reviewed on the September 28th meeting. I just didn't know if I missed it.
You were approved.
Okay, I guess I must have missed it. I apologize.
Well, we only just,
I didn't mean to interrupt.
We only discuss applications that have factors. Yours had no factor and you were approved as what we call our waived files.
Okay. Well, I apologize. I wasn't aware, and I wanted to, I was just trying to listen in, and now I know. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
But the other one on there is the, was Feared Up Home Improvement, and they also had 2, projects on their application for, unlicensed, and you'd also recommended $1,000 civil penalty. So I think those were the only 2 that's not on record.
Okay, so now, we have all on record. Do we need to re-vote?
I had one, did we do 76823? Middle of the second page?
That was wrong.
Which one?
The Johnson.
76823, Johnson, Donaldson.
The felony?
No, keep did it for me. I didn't do it. I know what you're saying, but I think I went this way.
Okay, Mark, you wanna do that one?
We postpone that one, because I don't know anything about it.
Oh, that's the one you did, you just brought it up that we didn't discuss.
I've been checking them off as we go, and I haven't, not checked.
I don't have it here. Maybe y'all pick it up.
Was that not what we talked about with the nonviolent felony and he's on probation?
Jennifer, which one did you do?
I just had Thompson.
My desk off.
Thank you for covering me, Kathy.
Well, that's not my hand.
It's not mine either. They wrote me.
note up at the top. Then I gave it to you.
Need some more info, a project over 3,000? Okay. Who wrote that? Anybody claim that handwriting?
I did.
Kathy did. See how nice her handwriting is?
Okay, so we're holding this one,
Okay.
apparently. We're holding this one for more information on a project that was over 3,000 in Hamilton County.
And that's 76823, right?
Yes. For those of you that are listening, it's a mountain of paperwork. Okay, now on to the legal report.
Okay, Dennis Gregory for the agency. I'll start out with, on the legal report number 13, number 40, and number 54. That's the same respondent. For all three of those complaints, it was, originally they were all three marked for, discussion. Matters were discussed, and after discussion, the recommendation is to, authorize formal hearing with the additional authority is to informally settle the complaint with a $10,000 civil penalty or a 6-month suspension. That will apply for each of the three complaints, number 13, number 40, and number 54. Number 81, that was a complaint that was being represented with a recommended letter of warning. However, after discussion, board member reviewing it decided to sustain the previous recommendation of a $500 civil penalty. I believe those are all numbers on the complaint that I was on, the rest of the report I had.
Yes, it's Monty Flat, attorney here. For number 41, after discussion with the board, we decided to close and flag that case, send it inactive, and contact the respondent and let them know that their license is inactive and they should be getting a qualifying agent in order to be doing business. Then number 82 was changed to a letter of warning, and number 69 was just to add to the cover letter that they need to become licensed. Those are all the cases that have changed that are under me.
All right, we've got the legal report. Do I have a motion to accept it? Oh, we've got the commercial.
Were there any changes or alterations to the commercial?
I had a couple.
This might be a point that if we're going to discuss anything openly, we might want to take a break or anything.
All right, let's pause the meeting for 5 or 10 minutes here, and y'all go through the commercial report, then bring that back to us.
Go into executive session.
You all will need to go outside.
Yes, we need to go.
May take 5 minutes to do this, and we'll be done. There's another 5.